Hello everybody and welcome to part 3 of the Elite Four Challenge, and after defeating Koga, we'll head on over to the next room and face Elite Four member number 3, and what's with all the pits of lava here? That is completely unsafe. But another familiar face here, Bruno! Oh, look at that, so this is our, basically the only returning Elite Four member for this gen, from Gen 1. Because actually, like all the other Elite Four members are different. Well, we had Koga, but he was a gym leader at the time. Yeah, so we have Bruno again for round 3 instead of round 2. But yeah, like I said, the only returning Elite Four member, and he's very much the same. Where he still specializes in fighting types. Basically, the only kind of Pokemon that he has for different is this Hitmontop right here. Where like originally he had 2 Onixes, but he swapped out his 1 Onix for a Hitmontop. Other than that, though, it's very much the same kind of Pokemon that he used back in Gen 1. But anyway, though, so to talk about a Hitmontop, which is actually our first encounter with it, and like I said, Tyler evolves to a Hitmontop if its stats are equal. So anyway, so Hitmontop has moves Quick Attack, Dig, Detect, and Pursuit. Detect is actually a protection move, where like once he uses it, then he'll actually protect itself from any attacks. So that's actually the one thing I had to use when I was trying to use Fly. So that's why I'm actually just having to stick with the Peck. And I think that's about it. I think I'll basically just be using, it'll just be spamming Quick Attack, and it could also use Dig, but only if you have like the Pokemon that are weakened by ground types. But since I have Aerosmith, I will never be able to use Dig, because one thing that came to mind is that that the AI for these fights are just programmed to make sure that they actually hit. So since I'm using a flying type, then Hitmontop won't use Dig. So at least they got going for it. And then next up is Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan, well, the only thing that's got going for it is Mach Punch, but it only knows but it also knows all the other elemental punches like Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch. But Mach Punch is actually a fighting type attack, and it's actually a priority +1 move. So it's basically a fighting type version of a Quick Attack. So that's the only thing it's got going for it. But other than that, though, it uses all its other elemental punches, where until Gen 4 they are completely useless. And so they won't really be able to hit that much, well, except that that Skarmory managed to get a burn, so I'll just use that Ice Berry right there. I'm actually gonna learn a bit about like these those great names, like Ice Berry being that they heal the SAS conditions, and then Burn Berries I think they heal the frozen SAS condition, because I know Ice Berries like. Let's see. I think I forgot the name of the berries that they gave it to starting with Gen 3, but let's see. I think yeah, I can't exactly remember off the top of my head though, because I know that regular berries become Morn berries, poison cure berries become Pecha berries, and then paralyzed cure berries would become the cherry berries. But yeah, I can't say. I mean, I knew the names, but I just can't seem to remember off the top of my head. So it's like one of those things. And sorry if you hear that voice crack once again. It's been doing that a lot lately. Even as I've gotten older, my voice has been deepening, but I still get those voice cracks, and I'm sure it's happening to you guys. So if you hear that a lot of times, I do apologize. And then next up, he's sending out his Onix. I'm kind of surprised that's not even a Steelix at this point. I know in those rematches, I don't know if he ever did that in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I remember in Fire and Leaf Green when you rematch Bruno, he actually does use a Steelix. But anyway, Onix is very easy if you have a Grass and Water type. It has moves Rock Slide, Sandstorm, Earthquake, and Bind, and it just used Sandstorm. Rock Slide is much more powerful than Rock Throw, and has a chance of the opponent flinching. Bind is also a move that's very much like Wrap, but it's also changed in Gen 2, where your Pokemon will still take damage every turn, but it'll still be able to use a move, and it won't say that that the attack continues. So which is something I'm real thankful for. Like, thank God, because that's the one thing I hated the most about Gen 1 was the way Wrap was. So thank God Gen 2 fixed that. And then next up is Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee has Double Kick, Foresight, High Jump Kick, and Swagger. Swagger, to talk about that one, what it does is that it basically boosts up the opponent's attack or physical attack in a high amount, but also confuse the opponent as well. But it's also pretty useful, like when you're doing double battles. But that's only going to be a thing in Gen 3 though, because that's when double battles were introduced. And then last but not least is Ace Pokemon Machamp, the evolved form of Machoke that will be possible if you trade it over. Machamp has the moves Rock Slide, Foresight, Cross Chop, and Vital Throw. Cross Chop is pretty powerful. Like it has, I think it has like 80 or 90 accuracy. Well, probably 80 accuracy. And it has a power of 100, but it does have a chance of a high chance of landing a critical hit. So So there's that, though. I think Vital Throw probably does something. Let me check to see what Vital Throw does. Let's see. It's a second strike move that never misses. So yeah, that's so Vital Throw. Yeah, that's another thing to watch out for. And also looks like Bruno just used a Max Potion on that Machamp. So yeah. But yeah, as long as you have either Flying types or Psychic types, especially Psychic types for this round, then you know you should be all set. I only have a Flying type Pokemon with me, but you know I'm still good to go either way. Even though Aerosmith isn't really doing that much, and oh yeah, Cross Chop really hurts, and that knocked out Aerosmith. And yeah, keep in mind, guys, that I am having Aerosmith hold on to the Sharp Beak, which should boost up the Flying type moves, but it's still it still didn't really hit enough. I think it's because you know with Machamp being very bulky, you know with its physical defense, 'cause that's how good it is. But with that, Bruno is defeated, and so so yeah. Other than that, though, it's very much the same in Gen 1. He has the same exact team, and only that he swapped out his Onix for well his second Onix for him on top. But that's about it. That's the whole thing with Bruno. So so yeah, see that only Aerosmith was fainted, but all my Pokemon were still fine. That's because I haven't really used him for this round. It's a good thing I got some Max Revives as well. So you know if you ever so during those other battles, you know if your Pokemon faints, but you really want to use that Pokemon, it's best to use those Max Revives. But at the same time, you want to save those too because you know because Max Revives are definitely the best ones or best kind of items. So. Alright folks, so that's 3 Elite Four members down, only 1 more to go, and probably another final challenge there is as well, so in the next episode we're going to be facing the last Elite Four member, and then we'll see where we'll go from there, so I will see you guys then.